Welcome back to part 2 of how to get your offer to stand out in a bidding war. Now this next one is a little controversial, but you can submit a personal letter explaining to the seller why you believe you're the best candidate to purchase that home. Now, it may not be passed on by the listing agent, and they're not obligated to pass it on, and the seller may not even read it if they do, but it can't hurt. Go ahead and write a letter explaining yourself why you believe you guys are the great next family for that home. Another great tip is waiving appraisal. Now, depending on what type of loan you are using, you may not be able to waive your appraisal. For instance, FHA loans and VA loans absolutely require an appraisal. In fact, almost all loans are going to require an appraisal. But if you have money in the bank that can cover the gap, you can actually state that you will waive the appraisal and pay the difference between the offered price and the appraised price. You can even set a limit up to how much you will cover in that gap. The next tip is regarding what type of loan you'll use. Obviously, a conventional loan looks the absolute best on paper, and sellers are kind of trained to believe the more money you put down, the more secure your offer. It is true that when someone puts very little down or has very little money in the bank to close, it gives the seller the impression that you may not have enough funds to close escrow. So when you can, and when it's available to you, choosing a conventional loan will certainly put your offer closer to the top. Next, I highly recommend that you do not ask for any seller concessions right now. Why? Because the seller can just choose any other offer that's not asking them to pay for your closing cost or repairs or any kind of concession that you may think you would like to be given. Don't ask, not right now. It's not worth losing the home to ask the seller to pay for $3,000 worth of closing cost. They're probably going to say no about anyways, so skip that one. And my final tip of 10 tips on how to get your offer to stand out in a bidding war market is to ask your agent to put in the offer an escalation clause. That means that you're telling the seller you're willing to go above their highest price, and you can add it in the offer. Let's say, for instance, you're willing to go $2,000 over their highest offer. If they show you that offer and your offer is accepted, you would need to go $2,000 above their highest offer that they've proven they had. This is called an escalation clause. Now, not all agents like it. I highly recommend that your real estate professional reach out before they add one, but an escalation clause is a great way to not miss out on a house over a couple $1,000s. It's worth it, right? Thanks so much for tuning in to Tracy's Real Estate Talk, episode 156. I really hope that these tips help you win the home of your dreams. Thanks, and don't forget to follow me at Tracy Bryant Realtor on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Bye. Have a great week.